Welcome. My name is Melissa. I'm a mom here in Michigan and just trying to get dinner on the table every day. One of my favorite things is my crock pot. When I was a stay-at-home mom for about 10 years. So that was, at home, that was really big part of my routine was getting dinner ready and feeding the family, and it just felt so, motherly, and like that's what I wanted to do. So using the crock pot when I started working just became a lifesaver to me, and it really, helped me feel like I can juggle as much as you can being a mom and working at the same time. So I got two really great crock pot ideas for you. I hope you dig through your drawers, find a crock pot, ask, your mom or your aunt or somebody who's not using their crock pot anymore to borrow it. Try these recipes out. I think your family will really like them. Here we have everything that you're going to need to make a crock pot lasagna. I was skeptical my first time, but I have done this multiple times and it comes out really, really good. So you need just regular lasagna noodles. I am going to chop up the onion and put the rest of my garlic. It's probably only a tablespoon in there. With the ground beef, I am going to cook that up first. I have parsley in my fridge, so I'm just going to chop it up, make it look pretty. You need 2 jars of sauce or 1 giant jar. This is 45 ounces, which is about like 2 jars. 8 ounces of mozzarella cream or mozzarella cheese. You need 4 ounces, only half of the cream cheese, and 1 cup of the cottage cheese. And I will show you how I make my cheese sauce for my lasagna. So the first thing I'm going to do though is chop up the onion and get the ground beef, the onion, and the garlic in the pan, and I will be back to show you what's next. So I've got my meat browning with my tablespoon of garlic and my 1 chopped minced onion. So while that's going, I'm going to show you how I do the cheese sauce. So obviously ricotta cheese is the traditional, but cottage cheese is a lot better value, easier to find, things like that. So I'm going to use cottage cheese, but me personally, I don't care for the texture that it would bring to the lasagna. So I'm going to mix 1 cup, so I got a half cup measure cup here. So I'm going to mix 1 cup of cottage cheese with 4 ounces of cream cheese into my Ninja blender. So this is the attachment, like if you're going to make yourself a smoothie. So I've got my 1 cup of cottage cheese in there. I cut this straight in half with my knife, and I'm going to put 4 ounces of cream cheese, and I'm going to whip this up and show you what it looks like, and that will be our cheese mixture. You're fine to just use the cottage cheese if your family has no problems with that. You like it, go for it. If you do have picky kids, cottage cheese a lot of times, isn't the prettiest look. So this will maybe get them to not know it's even in there, and you're adding all that good protein and everything. So, all right, let me whip this up and we'll be ready to assemble. Here I am with my crock pot, and I'm ready to assemble everything. Here is what the cheese sauce looks like. I did end up needing to put like 2 tablespoons of milk to thin it out. I feel like cottage cheese, brand by brand, sometimes is thinner or thicker. So I would start by not adding any, and then if you're wanting it to kind of be able to pour, so you may or may not need it. And then my sauce is all cooked up. The meat is all cooked up, and I just poured the sauce in there, and I think that'll be the easiest way. I just use a ladle. I'm going to start with a layer of sauce because it helps it stick less. What I have here, one of the things I really love are these bags that you put in your crock pot. They're made for a slow cooker liner. They work so well. Obviously, cleanup is so much easier. This is obviously a very messy kind of dish. So I love using it with that, and I love using it with any kind of cream sauce or anything like that. This is not going to be the most beautiful lasagna where you're going to be able to take out square pieces and give everybody their gorgeous little piece of lasagna. This is definitely weeknight, got to get it done, homemade lasagna. So You're just gonna break your pieces up. If they fit, great, but if they don't, most people have an oval crock pot, they're not going to fit exactly right. And you're just gonna layer up till everything is gone. I'm gonna throw some of this cheese sauce down. Remember, everything kind of just melts down and cooks together. Don't get particular thinking you need to lay a layer out of lasagna in one certain way, because it all just gets cooked together and mixed together as it cooks anyways. You want to make sure that you, when you're ending, that you keep an eye on your sauce, because sauce needs to be the very top layer with, of course, some mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna, like I said, because I have it, I chopped up my parsley. I don't usually have it, but it was at this store. Parsley is one of those items that is very inexpensive. I'm throwing mozzarella cheese too. And it just does make everything seem so this is my last layer. I'm gonna put on the rest of my mozzarella. Put the lid on low for 4 hours. Oh, that's gonna be so delicious. I'll be back to show you what it looks like. So it has been 4 hours later. I wanted to show you what the lasagna looks like. Yes, I cut into it a little bit there. I just wanted to make sure that the noodles were cooked all the way. Everything looks really great. I'm gonna get a piece out and I get to taste it before everybody else. Like I said, we'll see how good it comes out of the pot for me. So it's not going to be the most beautiful, but that looks pretty good. You can see all the layers and everything there. This crock pot recipe that I have here for you is my version of the white chicken chili. I'm sure that you've made white chicken chili. It's a very common chili. Lots of different people, lots of different recipes, but this is the one I like. From a jumping off point, I used the recipe is from Sugar Spun Run. I will link it in the description box. Hers, she does use already cooked chicken. I have some frozen chicken breasts. This is all I have, so that's all I'm going to use. I am not a fan. I like it more with the beans and the soup than with lots and lots of chicken. The next thing I'm going to put in is 2 cans of cannellini beans. Pretty early here this morning when I'm getting this together, so I'm not too concerned rinsing and draining and doing extra steps. I'm just trying to get this all in the crock pot so I can get out the door for work and come back, have dinner ready to go. This is a pretty easy one too. You can put everything in a Ziploc bag the day before and put it in the fridge, or if you do it much before that, you could put it in the freezer. Make it a freezer prep. This calls for 2 jalapenos chopped, 1 onion chopped. My jalapenos, I've used this bag of jalapenos that I have in the fridge, and they're not very strong, so I'm not worried about them being too spicy or anything, especially cooking all day in the soup. It'll help it out a little bit. 2 cans of green chilies. It calls for 7 ounces. I don't have big cans at my storage, just the little ones. So these green chilies, I would not classify them as spicy at all. They're a really great flavor. They're similar to a green pepper. I would say closer to a green pepper than any spicy pepper. And they're usually had been, yeah, it says fire roasted. So they do have a nice flavor of that fire roasted flavor they have going on. It calls for 3 cups of chicken broth. I've got 3 cups of water there. And I purchased this at a bulk food store. It is just a broth base, just like any other broth base. So I believe it's about a tablespoon per cup. So that's what I'm going to do. 3 tablespoons of that. In this recipe online, which is good, she does go through and gives the exact seasonings, you know, a certain amount of cumin, chili powder, ancho chili. Today I'm taking the shortcut and using just 3 tablespoons of this taco seasoning or 1 packet of taco seasoning, whichever you like. I have made it the way the recipe calls for it with all the different spices separately measured out and everything. It is very good, but again, it's early this morning. I'm just trying to get it in here quick, put the lid on, and be on my way. It's one of my favorite things about a crock pot meal is that the ones that you can just throw everything in and be done. And then I'm going to put in some of this kind of garlic. Again, you could use fresh garlic. I'm going to use a heaping tablespoons, really. That was 2 tablespoons. Who are we kidding? So, there you go. I'm just going to give it a quick stir. Pull it closer so you can see. I'm just going to put this on low for 8 hours. When you, the first person who's going to eat it, it's not always me that's home first. So I always let them know, you know, they're just going to shred up the chicken. My family pretty much knows already the drill. Shred up the chicken, and there you go. All right. Okay, so this is probably a little more than 8 hours later, and I did shred up the chicken. I took a look at it. So it's a little bit darker than I expected or that it's ever been in the past. I think what happened is my new chicken bouillon that I used, I definitely, for 3 cups of water, did not need to put 3 tablespoons because I tried it and it was quite salty. So I looked, what could I do to get rid of the salt? And a suggestion was to add some cream. And so I have some fat-free half and half. I am going to add some to that. The other suggestion I was thinking about was adding some acid, so I would have added some vinegar, but I'm just gonna add that much. And let's stir it up and see what we think. I think it looks really good. Lots of chicken, lots of beans. You could see all the different peppers and things. Definitely not, I mean, no heat as far as spicy at all. Let me see. I think of that. Oh yeah, that improved it a lot. Okay, I'm gonna give it another splash. Didn't want to overwhelm it with cream, but I think that is definitely the right choice in this case. All right. There you go. So here is my finished white chicken chili. I have some tortilla chips and some cheddar cheese. It's my favorite way to eat any kind of chili. Tortilla chips is my go-to. What about you? Bread, saltines, anything else, but I love the tortilla chips. They're my absolute favorite. So I hope this video inspired you a little bit to get out your crock pot, get back to using it. I feel great that I can have a day at work, come home, dinner's ready, everybody can eat. We're good to go. If you're busy trying to run out to do something else, you're still good. You've got your dinner ready. And we still up here in Michigan, we got a few more weeks left of winter. We know that even the first few weeks of March is going to be a little cold, so try a soup, try a chili. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. I do believe that every day is a gift from God, and I really appreciate that you spent part of your day with me. Thank you.